News for WWE NXT this week, and that is the rating is up on last week's show. However, there's more bad news for NXT. Let's be honest, there's always bad news for NXT and WWE, and the bad news is instead of doing the lowest rating in the history of NXT, now they've done the second lowest rating in the history of NXT. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. I mean, is this the standard that we're at now? Are we really supposed to believe that Shawn Michaels is supposed to celebrate this as a win? Well, guess what, guys? We didn't deliver the shittest, lowest feud episode of all time. We managed to deliver the second shittest, lowest feud episode of all time. The bar has been dropped so low. Gone are the days where the wrestlers would be looking online Tuesday morning. Used to hear about Vince Russo talking about this, but also McMahon as well. Well, not McMahon talking about it, but you heard people like Jim Ross has said plenty of times like that's the first thing McMahon did. The next day he was always on the lookout for the numbers. What number did Raw do? We hear about McMahon, how when they got close to hitting 3 million, he was panicking. He was ready to pull out all the stops. NXT's at 500 and odd K, man. The main rosters are fucking horrendous. The ratings, honestly, man, the people in charge should be ashamed, but it doesn't feel that way right now.
There is no shame anymore. No, you know what? No, how you know. No, how you fucking know. It's been going on for years.
Yeah.
See, back in the day, McMahon pressed the panic button. We know this, right? We've seen it loud and in living fucking colour. When as soon as WWE went below the dreaded 3 mil, McMahon did some crazy shit. Look at the TNA debut, man. He mended the fences with Brett.
Probably the only thing that could have done it.
Aye.
Hogan appearing on the other wrestling channel in America.
Which again, in my opinion, highlights how much
big Hogan is.
Yes, but also how much of a shitebag Bret Hart is. He could have went to TNA that night.
Aye, and buried McMahon.
Yeah.
Absolutely buried him.
Yeah.
But nah, he took the WWE paycheck. He took the McMahon money. But how much money is NXT making? Not a lot, guys. This week, Tuesday, May 19th, NXT did 517,000 viewers, which, if you didn't know, is a really shitty rating. Now, it's up 4% on last week, but forget about last week. You can't be happy beating the previous worst. That's just, no, I mean, who thinks of that?
I mean, loser mentality. Now, what I'm wondering is, what numbers was NXT doing in 2010?
Higher than this.
See the first season with Wade Barrett and co.? It's a new version.
Oh, actually, that I thought you meant. I thought you said 2020. I'm not too sure, but yeah, I mean, I imagine it would have done better than this.
Oh fuck, it would have had.
Because ECW was doing over 1 million.
Well, put it this way: you had guys like Jericho and William Regal on it as pros.
ECW
which is enough to get me to tune in.
ECW was getting 1 million, 2 million sometimes. So I would imagine that NXT.
My name's Justin Gabriel, and look at the flowers in South Africa.
Yeah, I'd imagine they were doing all right. Like, to be fair, but
someone needs to tell Triple H, Michaels, and fucking Taker to look at the flowers. So I put a fucking python to their.
Kroger always gives you more ways to save, like low prices in every aisle. Plus, you can clip and save more with.
Fucking Taker to look at the flowers. Fucking python to their back of their head, brother.
But yeah, it's up 4% on last week, but it's down 9% for the last 4 trailing weeks. And if you just look at it, man, look at it, guys. Jesus Christ, maybe not as bad, but we can see the noticeable trend, like you seen on SmackDown. It's year by year it gets worse. Well, I mean, the only reason 2025 was up on 2024, right, is because they moved to the C Network. And you can see originally when they debuted on C Network, the boosts that they got from that, the CW Network, but they've lost that now, and all of a sudden they're doing worse on the CW Network as they were doing before when they were on the, what were they on before that? Was it the Sci-Fi or something like that? Or what were they on? What was NXT on? What was NXT on? I think it was Sci-Fi. I'm going to go with Sci-Fi. I could be wrong.
See, no, wait. Oh, I want to tell people the fucking truth here, right? See, NXT is doing about half of SmackDown, roughly, right? Run about half, just a wee bit less than half, right? But what is actually the drawing? Well, what is the draw factor behind SmackDown? It's not the people on it.
It's a brand.
Yes.
It's a name.
It's the fact that everybody who knows wrestling knows that SmackDown is more prestigious and more important than NXT. The reality is, see the guys on SmackDown, you could switch them with the guys for NXT, and we're not seeing a dramatic change in the ratings.
No, but I think over time, if you keep switching them and you keep getting more people for NXT, if these people aren't drawing, then when they go to SmackDown, that is going to affect the numbers sooner rather than later. And if they keep putting people from NXT onto SmackDown, the numbers will eventually get lower because people just don't care. But yeah, I mean, just a downwards trend, and you see this every single year. Honestly, it's like, it's a broken record, but let's get into the clips. I mean, NXT can't be saved. You know what? I just don't really think a development show is the way to go. I actually think things were going fine with ECW, and they were pretty much using that as a way to bring through the people from FCW, Florida Championship Wrestling. I thought the concept of ECW was pretty good, where it was like the third brand, but you could clearly see that they would, when anybody that they called up, they kind of put on that show first to see how they would go. And once somebody was like over to a certain level, they would get moved to Raw or SmackDown. I think that's a better way to go than what we currently have on NXT. And I also think ECW kind of worked because you would get a couple of top guys that, well, maybe not top guys anymore, but you'd get a couple of decent mid-carders for the main brand, or sometimes you would get main eventers, like you got Kane going to ECW, like Mark Henry, Matt Hardy. I mean, Chris Benoit was supposed to go and help out, and then disaster happened. So, you know, we've seen like decent people. Christian came back, they stuck him on ECW. I think ECW worked better than what we get here. ECW, in my opinion, had a decent blend where it was like, you could clearly see it was the third most important brand, but they still had some decent names on it. I mean, who's on NXT to me? See, back then, I think Christian alone would get people, or Matt Hardy alone would get people to tune into ECW if we were a fan of those guys. I can't think of one person on NXT that is getting people to tune in solely just for them.
But see, that's the problem though. Over time, even ECW would have became redundant to where the point is no one would have tuned in for anybody. Look at the main roster, man. There is single digit people in terms of drawing power. Oh, I want to tune in to see him. So back in the day, yeah, you can talk about ECW, the late 2000s. But look at Raw and SmackDown. Look how many people would have tuned in just to see them.
Well, I mean, let's just move on to the clips here, because you talked about how low they were on SmackDown. Highest viewed clip on NXT, 115k. Mason Rook drops Cam Hendricks after their tag team win. And yes, this was the only clip that got above 100k. I mean, what a sad state that NXT's in. One clip above 100k.
Are we surprised though? I'm not, but you're right. I mean, 115k, and this is the WWE machine behind them.
Absolutely bogging. That's what I think of those
but
views.
To put it in perspective, man, it's like anybody here on YouTube could get these numbers. You know what I mean? Like anybody. Like we've got Fizz hitting these numbers, and it's like we don't have $1 billion company machine behind us.
Do we?
Yeah, we've a few Fizz have hit over 100.
There you go, guys. Fuck it, we're better than Mason Rook. Right. Number 2 on the list, Tony D'Angelo and Miles Bourne versus Cam Hendricks and Mason Rook. Mason Rook, he takes up a lot of space, but he's taking up space here on the top 2, so congratulations to him.
I think this guy's simply drawing because he's so fucking retarded.
In fact, that's a fair point. Third place, we have Dark State shockingly expels Psycho and Sugars from the group, so they just eliminated a guy. Now they're down to 3. Nobody cares about Dark State, though that is a fact. Prove me wrong, as Benoit would say.
Nothing darker than the state of WWE.
Fourth place, we've got Tatum Paxley versus Lizzie Rain, the NXT Women's North American title match. This got 78k. So there you go. 78k, man, poor. Was that 4th spot? It was 4th spot. 5th spot, we've got Ren Sinclair, Crutch Attack, kicks off a major brawl, 61k. Bad numbers all round. And now we move in to the final few spots. So what do we have here? In 6th position, Drum roll, please. We have Dark State versus the Fantasy Project. That's got 42k. 42k. And this is 6th place on the list.
That Bailey jobber, by the way, in the Fantasy Project, ugliest fuck I've ever seen. Makes Shayna Baszler look like fucking... fucking a Victoria's Secret model.
Absolutely. Right. Then in joint last, we have...
Well, you say joint last. I've done some research into this. Turns out Tristan and Jella got 40.9, and then the other jobbers get 40.6. So Tristan...
Ooh, Tristan's safe.
I'll defend... Aye, Tristan, you're safe, son.
Tristan is safe. He survives. He survives another day. I think he's had a little bit of help considering he only had one clip, and the other clip that's on 40k is a clip that just happened after the match, but there's no excuse. See, if you're only doing 40,000, you don't deserve to be a WWE superstar. So, alright, there you go, guys. That's your ratings, that's your clips, that's your views. Like I said, we are going to compile a list of the lowest viewed clips every week, and those superstars are going to be released, and we'll keep a note of them every single week. And for this week, we say goodbye to Saria, Tatum Paxley, and Lizzie Rain. All three of them are gone. Bang, finished. They're going to disappear from our NXT roster. Let's be honest, if we truly had control of this shit, we'd be getting rid of a lot more than just those three. But yeah, back to the NXT numbers. 115k for the highest viewed clip, and that's as good as it got by quite a long margin, to be honest. And I mean, again, you just look at the numbers, you look at the viewership across the board. Even if you look at the key demo, you can see a big drop off this year on the key demo, can't you? There, you look at the key demo. I mean, the key demo's just 2024. The key demo's much higher.
There's no respite. We look at every single company, every single brand. The ratings are down. The only thing that saves them, as you touched on, might be like the odd network change where they get a little boost, but.
Yeah, we've seen it from what's going to I know we didn't really see it in the opposite way from Fox to USA, but we did see it from like a Sci-Fi to CW. But yeah, for the most part, and to be fair, we did see it with Fox. What was SmackDown? Was it USA Network? What was SmackDown on before they went to Fox?
USA Network.
You did see a boost going from USA Network to Fox, but I mean that's about it. That's the only boost now that these shows have.
Seeing like 5 years, what is this going to look like? I'm convinced. No, it's actually fucking scary. By the way, seeing 4 years, NXT will be around 20 years.
20 years old.
No. See, when you think that Nitro lasted like fucking 6 years. That's actually disgusting. That makes me feel physically fucking ill.
And again, how many actual stars has NXT created?
No, but look.
None.
No, you're right. But look at like we've got the 10th anniversary of Raw DVD, right? 93, 2003. Look how much shit is in there.
Imagine if they produced a 10-year anniversary of NXT DVD. Who the fuck would buy it?
I know.
I mean, who would literally buy it? Nobody.
No one.
Unless you want to suffer. I mean, that's the only reason I could think of.
Pain and suffering.
So, alright guys, there you go. That's your NXT ratings right there. Slightly better than last week's, but still second lowest NXT rating in the history in their usual time spot. So, yeah, numbers down across the board in wrestling. Nothing new here. They get a little spike at Mania season, and then it's downtown until they get back to like the road to WrestleMania the following year. Very, very sad, but I mean, that's how it goes. Raw used to beat the NBA, and Raw actually beat some football games. Not a lot, but they beat some football games. They beat baseball as well. I mean, fucking Raw, couldn't they beat women's soccer now? I mean, what I wonder what women's soccer ratings are like in America.
Raw used to beat Friends in the 90s. That tells you all you need to know.
Yeah.
Like Friends, whether you like it or not, is like one of the most popular TV shows of all time, and Raw used to beat it. and then when you factor in like Raw was against Nitro, and like the amount of viewership worldwide that you're getting for both shows, and if that didn't tickle your fancy at ECW, what the fuck happened, man? See when this fat fucking jobber, right, is on NXT, no wonder it's fuck, man. See this Mason Root guy, he looks like he belongs in CEX drinking the Black Monster. Trying to convince some 80-year-old granny that
Do you want to get the
PS2
season
game,
pass on that?
the PS2 game is like the PS5 game, and that you should buy all. No, I mean, this guy is not a fucking wrestler, man. Like, yeah, there's always been a space in wrestling for fat fucks, right? But they need to have a look about them. See your Yokosunas and your King Kong Bundys and guys like that. They look like real men, like brutes. You know, like freaking natures. This guy just looks like any fat fuck you'd walk past on the street.
Yeah.
Like there needs to be, like, see if you're going to be fat in wrestling, you need to have a look. This guy doesn't have a look. If you walk past this Mason,
like Umaga had a look.
Yeah, if you walk past Mason Rook in a shopping centre or wherever, McDonald's most likely, then you wouldn't bat a fucking eyelid. But if you walk past Yokozuna or an Umaga or a Big Daddy Fee, calling all cars, doing the fucking feet.
Aye, Big Daddy Fee, what a fucking legend he was.
Nah, your point is there's big guys.
One of the high points ECW for me.
See, I think.
Dude, what would he not have been much better as a champion?
No, I agree. There's a difference between fat guys and big guys.
Yeah.
Mason Rook's a fat guy.
Big Daddy Fee was a big fat guy.
Yeah.
Mason Rook's just a small fat guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, that's it. There's your ratings right there. We say goodbye to Tatum Paxley, Lizzie Rain, and Saria, but they won't be the last. They're only the first. So tune in next week to see who joins them in the